2,000 calories. It's the standard number you see on every nutrition label and every menu. But if I asked you to put 2,000 calories on a plate right now, could you do it? Most of us are surprisingly bad at estimating volume. Today, we're stripping away the numbers and looking at the reality. We're going to analyze what a full day of eating looks like when you choose high-volume whole foods versus the hidden calories in modern processed meals. Let's start with a shocker. 2,000 calories of fresh spinach would fill an entire bathtub. You literally couldn't eat it all in one day. On the other hand, 2,000 calories of peanut butter is only about 1 cup. That's the volume paradox. Density matters. When we talk about health, we have to talk about caloric density. Whole foods like potatoes, berries, and lean proteins contain a lot of water and fiber. This fills up your stomach physically, sending signals to your brain that you are full long before you hit your calorie limit. Imagine a massive breakfast of 3 eggs and a giant bowl of oatmeal with fruit. For lunch, a huge salad with grilled chicken and half an avocado. For dinner, a large salmon fillet with a mountain of roasted broccoli and a sweet potato. That is a lot of food. Most people look at this plate and think, there's no way I can lose weight eating this much. But because these foods are nutrient-dense rather than calorie-dense, you stay satisfied and your blood sugar stays stable. The trap. Now let's look at the other side. A single large fast food meal, a double cheeseburger, large fries, and a soda can hit 1,800 to 2,000 calories in just one sitting. Liquid calories. This is where the hidden calories live. A fancy iced latte with syrup and whipped cream can be 500 calories. That's the equivalent of eating 2 chicken breasts. Because it's liquid, your brain doesn't register it as food, so you're hungry again an hour later. Ultra-processed foods. Companies design these foods to be hyper-palatable. They lack fiber and water, meaning you can consume massive amounts of energy without ever feeling truly full. The verdict. The point of this analysis isn't to make you fear calories, it's to give you perspective. 2,000 calories can be 3 tiny, unsatisfying snacks, or it can be 3 massive, colorful, delicious meals. The advice, if you're always hungry, look at the volume of your food, not just the calories. Swap the energy-dense fats for water-dense plants. Closing thought. You don't need to eat less, you just need to eat better. Understanding what 2,000 calories looks like is the first step to taking control of your health. Thanks for watching.
How do you know how much you're actually supposed to eat in a day?
They should put that sign up above, an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, stop. Go back to your seat.
I'm Dr. Paul Zalza.
I'm Dr. Brad Weening. Welcome to Talking with Docs. Confusing topic for a lot of people.
It's really confusing because you don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm looking, unless I'm in a fast food restaurant where it says how many calories there is.
And even then, I'm not sure the way that, unless they have a dispenser for like the condiments and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I think the guy squirting there and he goes an extra
Sure.
time around, all of a sudden that's another 100 calories.
Sure.
But I agree. Processed food usually listed on the box, although it's
Yeah.
like 1/6 of a box or something.
Yeah.
Like, how are you measuring that?
But your produce section, that doesn't really tell you anything.
No, but what I would say to that one very quickly is that if you're eating whole foods that are vegetables, that's not
Yeah.
your problem.
No.
Doesn't matter how much you eat calorie-wise,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get full
Yes,
before you
yes.
can
But I
overeat.
mean, like at the meat counter and stuff like
Sure.
that, or the fish counter, you don't know.
Sure, agreed.
All right, there's some nuances though with calories. It's a bit confusing.
Yes. Yep.
All right, because when you talk about a nutritional calorie,
Yep.
that's actually a scientific kilocalorie.
Yes, how much heat it can be by burning the food.
Well, that's the old way we used to
Yeah.
measure it. We would burn the food in a vat of water with the known volume, measure the temperature change of the water, and then calculate how much energy.
Wait, you don't do that?
That's what I do every
Before-
day.
Yeah.
We have a little campfire in the
Takes
back.
a long time to
Before
make-
you eat that,
That's right.
let's burn it. So that's the way we used to do it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't because that told you all the energy in the substance. But then we learned, well, that's not all that's bioavailable when you eat something.
Right.
So now we have what's called the Atwater technique, where they actually give you a rating, a calorie rating,
Right.
that is more relevant to the bioavailability of how much calories you're going to get from eating that. So in the old days, food had a lot more calories,
Right.
right?
Well,
And then, of
well,
course-
we thought it had more calories.
And so how much calories are you supposed to have?
So obviously it depends on your height,
Yeah.
your weight, your activity level, your age, your other metabolic conditions. So there's a bunch of things that go into the calculation, but somewhere in the range of 2,000 to 2,500, unless
Right.
you're specifically trying to lose weight.
Or gain weight. If you're
Yes, I
an athlete,
guess,
you're
fair.
bulking up or something, you
Yes.
might have to take in more calories to increase your body mass.
But it's a ballpark, and people are like, what does 2,000 calories even look like?
Who knows? First of all, it's in science, it's actually 2,000 kilocalories, which is like, 2,000 to 2,500 is like 10,000, which
Right.
makes it a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can have 10,000. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But anyway, so that's actually 10,000 calories.
Sure.
But the nutritional calories, we could say 1 calorie, which is actually a kilocalorie.
Right.
Which is actually about, really in science, we use joules to measure energy, right?
There
and
we
so
go.
1 kilocalorie is about 4.2
Rabbit hole.
kilojoules. I like to think in joules.
We lost.
But actually, in some labels in Canada, Australia, they use joules as well. They give you the joules rating, which is the real energy rating.
Okay, come
Anyways,
on.
having
Come on,
said that,
Zalzal, come back and join me.
okay, all right.
Okay, so.
What does 2,000 calories look like? What does 2,500 calories look like?
And the trouble is, most people underestimate how much, like to the tune
Sure.
of like 20 to 30%.
Yeah.
Because people don't recall accurately. So unless you're journaling, like really carefully journaling what you eat, most people get that part wrong.
Mm-hmm.
People are very poor at estimating portion size unless you're using a scale.
Who's
so
gonna
people
use
that
a
are very
scale?
well, people on really strict diets use a scale.
Okay,
Like
sorry.
if you're like a rower and you got to make weight, I think you're
Right.
trying to be a little bit more careful, or a boxer or whatever.
Okay.
And unless you're eating a lot of processed food that listed very specifically, you're going to have some trouble. So we're going to try to provide some gross measures
Yeah.
of how much food.
Because we have a lot of rowers and boxers in the audience. Okay, so we're gonna let's give you some ball. And now what we've created is a little PDF. We'll put in the description,
Right.
which breaks down lots of different foods. And instead of just the ounces, because you may not be measuring stuff, we'll give you some ballpark sizing you can use to measure how many calories are in there.
Yeah, we're just going to give you a generic meal plan it's not plant-based, it's not carnivore, it's kind of somewhere in between, but it is on the healthier side.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the attachment in the description is just going to be a bunch of different foods
Right.
and how much size they are for the calories. And now we're going to discuss just a standard. This is what a 2,000 to 2,500 calorie day looks like.
And honestly, if you eat this meal, I think you will do well. I feel like this is a pretty healthy day of eating.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with breakfast.
First of all, it's a 3-meal plan.
3-meal plan.
Plus snacks.
Right, so it's
It's
not
amazing.
intermittent fasting. It's not like one meal a day.
no.
Okay, so you're gonna wake up. And you're gonna have breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast. Let's say you had like some oatmeal, berries, handful of nuts.
Yep.
That meal would be about, depending on how much it is, but that's about 400 calories.
Right,
Right
and-
there.
and
That's
right
what
there,
400
like,
calories
like a
looks like.
normal sized bowl. Like, don't get like a
No,
big metal
no.
baking mixing bowl and fill that with oatmeal
Yeah.
because it is calorically dense, but just
Yeah.
a normal sized bowl.
Yeah, normal sized bowl, a little bit of berries and nuts. That's
Yeah.
400 calories.
That's good. You got your vitamins, you got your minerals, you got some fiber in
Got your
there.
fiber.
You're gonna feel full. A little bit of protein in
Okay.
there. Okay, so for lunch you're gonna have a 4-ounce piece of chicken.
Okay, what's 4 ounces look like?
Well, just as the way it works out, it's like the size of your
Palm of your hand.
Yeah, palm of your hand.
Yeah, not 2 feet high, palm of your hand, just
No.
a standard piece of chicken, palm of your hand. That is a reasonable size.
Right. Add some quinoa and some vegetables. That gets you in the range of 500 to 600 calories. Just careful of what sauces you're adding.
Add some hot sauce and watch our previous video.
Right? Yeah, hot sauce or mustard. Try to do the less calorically dense ones, the ones that are not loaded with sugar. Things like ketchup or like mayonnaise. That's pretty heavy fat.
Those are.
So you got to be a little bit careful. So now you got your 500 or 600 calorie lunch.
Okay, so what are we at now? We had about 400 for breakfast.
Yeah, we're between 900 and 1,000.
We're between 900,000. Okay, we still have about 1,000 to 1,500 to go.
Right.
Right? We're still
Pretty good.
winning.
It's pretty good. Let's go to
And
dinner.
then for dinner, let's say you have some fish,
Yep.
a thin piece of fish from your wrist to your fingers, okay? That's a
Okay.
decent sized piece of fish.
Yep.
Some sweet potato salad,
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
That's about 500 to 600 calories there.
Okay, so that gets us to 1,400 to 1,600. You still have somewhere in the range of 600 to 1,100. Sorry, 600 to 1,100.
Yeah.
Depending on your calorie for snacks,
Yep.
drinks,
Yep.
whatever. If you're going to Starbucks or you happen to want dessert that day, whatever.
Twix bar.
Twix bar. Yeah.
That's about 250
Get
calories.
you- Yes.
If
yeah.
you look at the calories in a Twix bar,
Yes.
you could light a light bulb for about 16, 17 minutes. Or the amount of calories in a Twix bar, you could push a Honda Civic about 200 meters. That's how much energy is in.
And the
this
trouble with those things that they are so calorically dense. The volume is very small.
Yeah.
They're nutrient deficient. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing really that you need in them. There's no protein, there's no fiber, there's very limited vitamins, and that's all candy. It's nothing against Twix. Who doesn't love Twix?
No, I love Twix.
Everybody knows you love Twix. But this is the trouble with things like that. And things
Yeah.
like oils, right? Very small volume, very calorically dense. So those are the sneaky foods
Yeah,
that
are gonna get
quickly
you.
get that number way, way up.
And but that menu we just gave you, just to give you a ballpark, that's what about a tooth. It's pretty good. Like it's quite
Yes.
a good food as long as you eat good food. You can
Yeah.
eat quite a bit of it.
And I think the key, to be honest, is eating more whole foods that are often vegetables because
Yeah.
they're very low in calories, very high in fiber, very high in volume, very high in vitamins and minerals. So you're getting a lot out of them and not spending a lot of those calories.
Yeah, you're getting macronutrients in addition to your calories.
There you go. And there are some apps that actually
Yes.
can take pictures of food that give you an idea of the size and the calories.
Right.
Not 100% reliable because of cooking methods and things like that, but that some people use that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
we should do a video on the apps that are out there.
So that's a good idea.
But there you have it, guys.
know.
Start getting your calories in. Don't go nuts. You're not, and if you eat well, you can enjoy a lot of food and stay within your 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day.
And I would say if you feel like you're struggling with weight loss and you feel like you don't eat very much, honestly, keep a journal of every single thing that you put in your mouth for a week. And I think you'll be surprised at the end of the week how much you actually ate. You'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that handful of nuts that I had. Oh, I forgot that we went to Starbucks on the way to wherever.
Have you ever journaled what you eat?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I know.
I knew the answer to that before I asked it.
And I thought you were going to ask me if I've ever weighed food.
Have you ever weighed?
100%
Oh
I've
my
weighed.
God.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
We have a scale for like baking, but I use
Well, I mean, weighed if you need a certain.
No,
amount for-
because if you're in, because I was curious about this
Yeah.
kind of thing, like,
Really?
well,
Yeah.
particularly like for nuts. I eat a lot of
Yeah.
nuts, right?
Yeah, you're
But
nuts.
nuts are so
You are
nuts.
nuts.
They're so sneaky though. Like if
Yeah.
you think what a quarter cup of nuts is,
Yeah.
it's like 250 calories. It's like it looks like nothing. It's like
Yeah.
4 nuts there. You're like, come
lot of
on,
nuts.
It's crazy.
The Twix bar has no nuts in it.
No, Mars bar. No, not Mars bar. Snickers,
They got nuts.
Almond Joy. If you like this video,
Mounds don't.
if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel.
And remember, you are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time.